Yes.
I feel like a lot of this is just pathology, okay? From being raised. As I was hearing you say, you know, that's where you came from, that's what you heard, that's what you saw. A lot of times men are raised in households where maybe they saw their mother beating on their boyfriends or whatever, so they felt like it was okay. Same for with women. Women probably saw the man beating on her mother, so she felt like it was okay. She probably saw her mother beating on the man. You know, from an example from mine, I saw my mama pistol whip a man. You understand what I'm saying? But they stayed together for 20-something years.
Right.
You feel me? And then so it was like, okay, we back together. They still sleep in the same bed together. You know, all these things. So it just comes from that. You know, so it's really the pathology and the mindset of it, of where they were, what they were taught when they were as children. Growing up, I lived in a very dysfunctional home.
My whole life has been fronts, makeup stuff, cover up.
I grew up with an abusive father, watching my mother get beat on several occasions.
All these years, y'all were having all these issues, but you couldn't tell me.
He hit me one time and did the thing that most abusive men do. Oh, it'll never happen again. I'm so sorry. I love you. You know, I've never done that before. It won't happen again. Within a month, he hit me again. You won't leave him because you're afraid of him. Isn't that true?
I had resentment for men.
Got lied to. I'm a church boy, and when the church lied to you, where do you go? Just like church got me in this slave mentality. I ain't free. I see all this mess in here, man, and I cannot say a word. Because if I do, God gonna get me.
I also am a product of molestation and incest through my family.
After the molestation, I was afraid, deathly afraid. I didn't know at that age, at 11 years old, I didn't know what a touch was. Was this a good touch or a bad touch? And I didn't know. So I decided, in my mind, which your mind does, it will create a way for you to carry on. And my mind told me, separate it. Separate emotion from touch, and you will never be afraid again. That idea in my mind made me separate sex from emotion, and it turned me into a person that could just lay down and not think anything about what just transpired. You know, it was just easy. I had no connection to the person that I laid with. Because of all that resentment, I felt like if a person was to love me, it meant that I had this twisted view that I give them my body. And that had a bad effect on my marriage.
And he said,
I told you I was gonna kill you, didn't I?
And without me being able to say anything or react, he shot me in my face.
Well, either I can give up or I can press forward.
After just not knowing where to go, being homeless, just not knowing what to do, I sat in my car and I surrendered my life over to God.
And in my midst and in my hurt, I came out with the song Stronger. And it says, I push a little bit harder now. I run a little bit faster now. I do what it takes regardless of my mindset. I do what it takes regardless of how others view me or how I feel about myself. I also came out with a song called You Deserve It. I deserve whatever from this point forward. Whatever God gives me, He gives it to me because He trusts me with it. He gives it to me because this is who I am. I am confident in who I am now. I don't have a spirit of self-sabotage no more because I feel like I deserve anything or any opportunity God presents before me. I am confident. I know I'm loved. I do not settle anymore. I threw the deuces up to everything that did not fit where I'm going. And that's where I am today. And that's the reason why I'm stronger.
I'm stronger because, like I said, I don't cover up no more. What my mistakes is my mistakes. I own up to my mistakes. I am who I am, mistakes and all. You gonna get it all.
They closed the case out. So that was all God. The job was all God. I just closed on my house. I just told God once I got back to Columbia that I was going to do everything, get in the ministry and everything like that, and just commit myself to Him and become a member of the church.
So going through that situation and being able to say, I'm not here because of something I did right. I'm here only because of what God has done in my life. And I'm here for you to see families rebuild, to see women regain a sense of who they are, to see men realize and identify those patterns of behavior that are causing them to behave in that way and change. That's what makes me stronger.
Your life gives you all the advice and all the lessons you will ever need for the rest of your life. If we just take that moment to look back at our lives and honestly look back at our lives. Don't look back at it and try to see yourself as a victim, but see what you did. If we go back and we look at ourselves and we look at the decisions we made and we just see ourselves in the situation, you learn so many lessons and you can be so free because you realize you always have the control in every single situation. And that is what makes me stronger.